Hey guys, it's Sarah Davison-Tracy and Amy Wright coming at ya. Welcome to the Storyteller series with Amy K. Wright, my dear friend. And for those of you who are new to this really fun Facebook Fridays conversation that we're putting together, this is all about sharing an amazing array of storytellers and friends of mine, of people I know and love and respect, who are up to some amazing things in the world. Some are humanitarians, others are nonprofit leaders, others are entrepreneurs, and they're all just using their gifts to make a difference in the world. And we're doing it together, which is kind of our jam. So in a minute, we're going to talk with Amy about some amazing pieces of her world, her work, and kind of the wild parts that have. Hang on, my dog is barking at a squirrel. I gotta get a child to get her. Just one moment. So Micah, can you guys get Maisie and put her outside? Thank you. Gotta love lives. So
Great.
Yeah. So as we go, the reason that we are using lives as our storytelling kind of tool for this is because we really want to invite you to to comment, to share what it is that is capturing your attention, to share with your people, and the incredible stories and journeys that we are all about here. So share those hearts, put the thumbs up, share it with your folks, and comment below whatever is connecting with your story and your world. So a couple things we're going to get to in a moment, and the details are below also, is please check out Amy's greeting card line, tellitwellcards.com, and as we dive into Amy's story, really take note of what it is that makes your heart swell with inspiration, maybe brings tears to your eyes with something hard going on in your life too, because we're going to keep it real around here and talk about a hard thing that happened in Amy's life that's propelled her to where she is today. So let's dive in. So Amy, thanks for joining.
Well, thank you for asking me. It's great to be here.
Yeah. And normally we do these side by side in Zoom, but now we're like side by side. So we're going to be doing this a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So Amy and I have been friends. She's my timekeeper of our friendship. For how many years?
Well, let's see. Well, we first met in 2001.
Right. So.
And then we connected to do your photo sessions when you were pregnant in 2004, 2005. Right.
So that's one of the themes that I love in the Storyteller series are these like deep roots of friendship. And we have been friends and collaborators for many, many years, and it's made for an incredible journey. So Aim, right now you are doing work that you love, making a difference in the world as a photographer, as an activist, as an author, as a marketing, what do you call yourself? A marketing coach, consultant, to help people tell their stories well in the world. So can we go back? Is it 2 years ago this month?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Last month. That you were laid off. So can you paint the picture of how that was both totally not part of the plan and how it propelled you towards a dream that you'd had for a really long time?
Sure.
Can you tell our peeps about that?
Well, I've been doing freelance photography for, over 15 years. And then that time I started working at Whole Foods doing marketing and community relations, and loved being a part of the organization, learned so much about marketing and telling a story well, and creating business that does good in the world. But around the summer of 2015, I was feeling kind of a shift taking place and wondering what my next step was. And had just gone to India the year before and created a book of photography called A Portrait of a Microloan that told the story of the women that I had met who are receiving small business loans from the Whole Planet Foundation. And so it was a year of like really beautiful, like creative things happening. But work-wise, I was kind of wondering, like, did I still belong at Whole Foods? I had this dream for many years of having my own business, but was really scared to really put that out there. And so the universe kind of intervened because on the end of September 2015, I got the call that my job had been eliminated after 10 years with the company. And so, and I took, ended up taking the severance and taking some time to just figure out what my next step was. And so I think when you have those moments, those crossroad moments, where, a choice has been made for you, and then you then have a choice to decide how you want to move forward. It was a really powerful time, and spent many hours like walking around Wash Park, kind of, just trying to figure out and be in silence. But so that moment, I remember I had lunch with our dear friend, Lisa Sharp, and she had just started her business like a year before that. And I asked her, like, how did she know, that, that it was the right thing? And she looked at me and she said, Amy, I knew that if I didn't try, I would regret it. And I would rather try and not have it work than not do it and regret it. And so that really just stayed in my mind. And I made the choice then to go ahead and start my business in March of 2016. And it's been a wild ride.
Okay, so two things that I think are or three actually, that I want to loop in with you all about. Like, what are the crossroads moments you're in right now? The ones that you didn't ask for. Like Amy she did not go into work that day asking for or expecting that her job was going to be done. And I remember talking to you, and it was like terrifying and maddening and all kinds of emotions. You didn't like take it and like just sail off into the sunset. It was like there was some angst. Right. And there were conversations. So that was one. So is there anything going on for you like that? Number two, the other piece that of course is something that we talk about a lot in our community is like when you're in those crossroads moments, it's very hard to go it alone. So like what A mentioned about Lisa, like helping, where are places in your life right now where the crossroads will be made easier to bear or to navigate, because Lise helps with that wise word of navigation in your world. And really taking stock, are you trying to navigate the crossroads alone? Are you trying to man that gap by yourself? And if so, what about picking up the phone or commenting here, or reaching out to private message me if it's too private of a thing to share, and for a prayer, for some good juju, for some love, for the arms of support that we all need when the world has kind of dropped out under us. And the third piece that I want to mention, and that we'll transition to in Amy's life, is how this crossroads moment like propelled her into a dream that we had been talking about for a couple of years, right? Yes. How many years had you
Probably, oh man.
been dreaming of having your own business and doing this work that you're doing now? How many years was that cooking?
I mean, probably since the time we reconnected in 2004.
So at that point, it had been about 10 years, a decade of a dream.
Yeah.
And so, like, sometimes dreams take a decade to grow. So that's one thing I want to like throw out there with so much love that, I don't know, sometimes for me, I get so like impatient, like, good Lordy, why is this taking so long to do? I mentioned in a video last week that my Nana had planted a seed of a dream in me 9 years ago to write my books. And there were some times where I was like, good gracious, how much longer is this going to take?
Yeah.
And what's wrong with me? Like, am I not doing enough? There was a lot of that. But as I look at you from the outside, it was like just the right time.
Yeah.
So some grace to all of us who get a little bit angsty about the timing piece. So Aim, bring us back. So 3 years ago, you get laid off, you take the severance and you have some time to create what you're doing now. Yeah. So what have you built and what are you up to and why do you do it? What's your why in this?
Yeah. Well, I think the heart of who I am and what I do is that I do believe that we all have a story to tell. Yeah. And I want to help support people in telling it well. Mm-hmm. And so whether that's with your business or with your life at home, with your family, through headshots or family sessions or product photography, I love being a part of supporting people with the visuals that capture the moments, that tell their story and their essence in a way that feels authentic and true, right? And every single one of us has something beautiful to offer. And so I love being able to help, whether it's a moment with your family or, capturing what you're doing with your business. I'm really passionate about that. And so what I've developed over the last 3 years is I have the photography side of my business where I joke with people and I say, I basically do everything but weddings. So, but I love doing like portrait sessions, headshots, events, and product photography. And then the second side of my business is my line of greeting cards. And that side specifically, we have one.
It's going to be Vanna White.
Yeah.
Here's one. Yeah. There's many more.
There's more back here,
Yeah. I have the link below, by the way, to go to her website and check out the collection, which is amazing. So keep that in mind for like upcoming holiday, birthdays. She just gave me a box for my birthday. So, I mean, how fun to be able to buy those things from a human being that we know and love instead of like someone that a big company who we don't have a connection to, like Amy. So big shout out to Amy for this.
And I wanted, it's important for me to share that the cards, as an entrepreneur, I think it's important to have different sources of revenue so that you can pay your rent.
Yes, this is good,
right? So anyone who's looking at starting a business, create different sources of revenue. But the important piece with the cards is that I wanted a portion of my business to be about doing good in the world, helping others, specifically helping other women. So 10% of the proceeds of the cards goes to support the Whole Planet Foundation, which works here in the United States and in 70 countries around the world to give small business loans to women to help them start their own business. And I saw that life-changing work in person in India when I worked with Whole Foods. And so I'm really excited to have that be a component of my business. And I love telling the story of the things that I see in the world, because the cards are all photos that I've kind of come across in my journey. So I love sharing that art piece. And then I love creating something that provides connection for people, because most of the time you're giving a card to someone for their birthday, to tell them you love them, to share your heart. And so I love offering that. And then the third piece of my business is that I'm helping small business owners with their storytelling and combining what I can do with photography with my 10 years of marketing experience to help them tell their story well with visuals and copy. So,
which in fact, that's why we're together in my office, because we just spent the last 2 hours like I need help to be able to share the story of my books and of Seeds of Exchange and of upcoming events, and do it in a way that Amy is helping me to be able to do better. So, and we were in the studio last week together, which was so fun, doing pictures. And so it's like, again, the theme for me is, it's like the what Amy mentioned about the crossroads and the gaps that we all have in our life all day long, whether it's just a little one of like, I'm still sniffling and getting over a cold, like a health gap, or like a big, like how to take the leap that Amy took 3 years ago into building her business and living her dream, which takes courage and bravery every day. And then the third piece is like, it also takes a tribe. It takes, no matter how talented, no matter how visionary each of us are, and I believe we each are extraordinary, I just don't think we can reach the heights that we're destined to reach without our tribe, without our people. And so that's why I wanted to share Amy with y'all, is both to find some inspiration and encouragement if you're in a gap sort of place, from a sister who's navigated and navigating the gap. I mean, she just had water spill in her computer on Wednesday and her computer shorted out. And that's like, our livelihood as entrepreneurs of like, so it's like crazy stuff happens, right? And we need to stay in it together. Otherwise it's too terrifying and hard. So please do share like where you are at in your dream of a business, of a project. Where do you need support? How can we love on you? How can we connect some dots for you? And then please make sure below to check out some of the links to see the amazing work that Amy's up to. I was digging around. I bought like 10 copies of her book when it first came out and over the years, and I can't find a single one. So the link for that is below, and be like me and buy a few and pass them out and share some love. And it's a book about our global sisterhood and courage and connection.
Yeah.
And beauty, lots of beauty. So do you have any closing things you want to share?
Good. The biggest thing I want to offer is just that one of the biggest lessons I learned was to just do it afraid. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other and reach out for encouragement. Invite people into your dreams, into your struggle. But I remember, it's probably January of 2016, and I hadn't figured out if I was going to launch the business, what was going to happen. And I was just walking around Wash Park, and I was like crying, and I was like trying to figure out what was going to happen. And I think that lesson of like, even when you don't know what the next step is, just keep walking, and trust that if you come and approach life with courage, then life will meet you. And then I just want to offer two resources. And one is Marie Forleo. I did her B School training, and that helped tremendously for me in terms of just preparing for launching my business. And then also Donald Miller and his work on story brand, and how to tell the story of your business was really powerful for me. And then our mutual friend, Vicki Peterson. We love you, Vicki.
Yeah.
She gave me a book called Transitions when I was laid off. And they paint this metaphor of oftentimes when you're in a transition and you're at a crossroads, you have to cross the bridge. And oftentimes, right when you're in the middle of the bridge is when you want to give up and you want to walk back. And keeping that metaphor in front of you of what it looks like, just cross to the other side. And know that transition is uncomfortable, but just keep moving through that. And I still every day deal with, the highs and the lows. Like, am I crazy for starting my own business? But then I have moments like this where I know that I'm doing the work that I'm meant to do, and that I'm supporting others through my gifts. And that has been a great source of joy for me. So keep walking across the bridge.
Yeah.
And excited to be here and just share a little bit today.
Yeah. And don't walk across the bridge alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, closing is you're loved.
Yeah.
We belong to each other, and let's stand tall together and light up the world.
Yes.
So much love to you guys. Please share this with your peeps, with anyone you think would find a bit of encouragement and inspiration and connection from this. Please connect with us below in the comments, and let's keep the goodness going. Yeah. Much love, you guys. And thank you, Aim.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.